The people that have succeeded before us, we can pattern our behavior after that. This law of cause and effect is what makes that possible. Hey, it's Rob. Welcome back. Here we are with another book in the self-development and personal growth genre. This is one of my favorites. It is written by one of my favorite authors, Brian Tracy, and the name of this book is The 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires. Now, this is a fantastic book that can be applied, again, a lot like the other books that I go through on this channel, to life in general. The title of the book is The 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires could very well be ... insert anything you want, okay? These success principles will guide you through pretty much everything that you ever want to accomplish in life. That's why I love this book so much. That's why I find it so powerful and so valuable. There are only a couple of lessons in this book that pertain specifically to finance. However, it is a book written about personal finance and written about becoming a self-made millionaire. And so that is what we'll focus on here. But keep in mind as we go through that this is the kind of book that you can apply. You'll see as we go through the lessons here, this book applies to a lot in life. So with the introduction here, I want to talk about a few things. Brian Tracy really covers a lot in the introduction here, and there's a lot of things I could have chose to talk about in this first video, but the biggest thing that I want to express is the fact that success is not an accident. Okay, that is a huge concept for Brian Tracy that he likes to promote throughout a lot of his material, but particularly in this book, he starts off with it because he wants to explain and have people understand the law of cause and effect. All right, success doesn't come down to getting lucky. Success doesn't come down to being born under the right sign or whatever you want to call it. Okay, success is something we can trace. We can look back at somebody who's successful in something, whatever it may be, and in this case, personal finance, and we can trace back the steps that they took and figure out what it is that made them successful. Why did they gain this success, as opposed to other people who may not have gotten the same level of success, right? And it's because of this law of cause and effect that Brian Tracy talks about. Now, this is another theme throughout many of my videos, this law of cause and effect. One reason why is because it applies to so many different things. But the law of cause and effect basically says that if you do certain things, you will get a certain result, okay? So if you do the things that other successful people have done, then you will get similar results to those people because you did the same things, right? So the law of cause and effect is huge because it means that this is what allows us to model other people. This is the thing that gets us, that gives us rather the ability to jump into a task or the pursuit of a goal and use the material that's come before us, right? The people that have succeeded before us, we can pattern our behavior after that. This law of cause and effect is what makes that possible, all right? And Brian Tracy talks a lot about this concept in some different lights, and one of those is a statement that he makes in the introduction here, which is that nature is neutral, all right? What does that mean? Well, nature, okay, this law of cause and effect, which is a law of nature, right? We talked about this before. You plant a seed and the tree grows and oranges come off of it. It's because you planted an orange seed, all right? And you took good care of it. You didn't plant an apple seed and then get oranges, right? So the law of cause and effect is that you do something and you get the result, and that result is tied to what you did, okay? And so the fact that nature is neutral, this is a wonderful thing for us because it means that it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter whether your family came from this, that, or the other place, okay? The law of cause and effect in nature is, it doesn't pay any attention to any of that, okay? Anyone can follow these principles in this book and there are 21 of them. And so there are 21 chapters after this one. We'll go through them all. But anyone can do this, okay? You can do this. I can do this. We can all do this. And we can all put these principles into practice in our lives. And we can gain similar levels of success to those that have come before us and have used these same principles. So nature is neutral because the law of cause and effect applies to everything, all right? And it applies to everyone, you, me, everybody else. So no excuses anymore, all right? Which is a wonderful book by Brian Tracy also. Maybe we'll go through that at some point on the channel. That one changed my life. No Excuses is an absolutely fabulous book that he wrote. But what I'm saying here is there are no excuses anymore, okay? Let's do the things that successful people do and enjoy the same levels of success, because that's what the law of cause and effect is all about. The final point that he makes is probably one of my favorites that I've ever read by any author. And I say this to a lot of people a lot of times in my life, and some people kind of look at me with one eyebrow up and, you know, are pretty skeptical about it. And some people, they buy in and they think the same thing, or they agree with the idea, the sentiment. And that is that the only limits that we have in our lives are the limits that we place on ourselves. All right? I think he actually expresses it as the limits that we place on ourselves by our own thinking. But what that is, or what that equates to is, if you think, this is the old quote, I think it's Henry Ford, if you think you can do something or you think you can't, you're right. That's where this idea comes into play. The only limits in our lives are the limits that we place on ourselves. So don't limit yourself. You're the one doing that. All right? I'm the one limiting myself. The reason that I don't have everything that I want to have in my life is because I'm limiting myself. Same with you. Same with everybody. All right? So I hate to call you out on that here in the intro, the very first thing we're doing here, but keep that in mind as we go through the book. The only limits are the limits that we place on ourselves. All right? So that's it for the intro video here. Quick introduction, a little less quick than I had hoped. I went on for a little bit about a couple of things, but I hope you join me for the rest of these chapters. They're short chapters in the book. They are short videos, at least I hope, for this series. But you know me, sometimes I'm going to go a little bit, go off a little bit on a couple of the things that I may believe, because I just feel so strongly. I have such passion for this material, and especially this book. It's a really, really wonderful introduction to personal finance. And if you want to become a self-made millionaire, Brian Tracy's got the path. He interviewed a ton of self-made millionaires for this book, and he himself is a self-made millionaire as well. So he knows what he's talking about. So join me for the rest of this book. You can get the book through the link down below here, and sign up for your free Audible subscription as well. And I will see you in chapter 1.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.